Okay, part 4 of my stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And be the final clip. We'll start off with the Sears Kenmore freezer. It still works. Probably early to late 80s. And still working. And it's working right now. And a briefcase. Probably 70s or 80s. My grandpa had that when he filled up helicopters there for a while. Then my stepdad had it. Now I have it. Using it to keep the instruction manuals in there for the machines. Perfect place to hide them. And look at this. You don't see it every day, hardly ever anymore. Mobile Super 10W/40 motor oil in a 60's can. And that's right, it's never been open. The oil's still in there. Man, is that crazy or what? And it says Made in USA right on it. And a heater. Probably 70s, very late 70s to probably mid 80s, maybe late 80s. Actually, probably late 80s would be my guess. It might be a 90s model, very early 90s, but I'm guessing 80s. It has to be 80s. You don't see these very often anymore. I don't see them very often either. If you do, just let me know. And check this out. It's a keepsake too. It's a clock. Made in West Germany back in the 60s. October 1969. Yep, it's pretty old. But gotta take good care of this one. It means a lot to a buddy of mine. And look at these seahorses. It's got real shells in them. These two were made all the way back to the 50s. Unbelievable, eh? And look at this. A tool that you can loosen or tighten nuts and bolts with by just cranking on it, kind of like a crankshaft. Yeah, the handle here spins along too. You don't see those very often. It's probably a 1967. Maybe a little older than that, but what the heck. Gotta love it. It's in absolutely great shape too. And a General Electric AM radio and alarm clock. And pretty old school. And it's probably late 70s, maybe very, very early 80s. Maybe we're talking 1980 would be my guess. It could be older than that. It could be mid 70s, but it's got a plastic top. So probably late 70s or early 80s. Bought it last summer. Man, you don't see those hardly ever anymore. What a shame. What a shame how time has changed. And check out this phone. I made a video of it recently. Made it look like it was built before World War II, but it's not. It's actually a 70s, early 70s telephone. Yep, there's the numbers, the dial. And it actually still works too. It's pretty cool. And this Radio Shack telephone. Probably late 80s. Because I remember seeing an old video of me when I was a baby, and I seen this exact same phone in the background. And it's still around. Excuse me. And it's sitting on top of a refrigerator I got from a buddy of mine last year. Probably 70s because I asked him what year it was because I thought it was an 80s, but nope, probably 70s. It's green on the inside. Yep, got my beverages. It's made in Japan, so hey, what the heck? It's a good refrigerator. Keeps my beverages cold. 1985 Emerson television set that I got for $2. It still works. I probably didn't need it, but I don't care. It's old school and I love collecting old stuff. It was only $2. I couldn't back down. And the 1987 Emerson television set looks like the 85. Got that for free 2 years ago. So that's awesome. And a rival can opener and knife sharpener. Got that at a garage sale just recently for $3. It's probably 70s because look at the plug. It's the old school style. Made a horrible screeching sound when we turned it on, but fixed the problem with cooking oil. Cooking oil pretty much be the safest way. Not use like WD-40 or motor oil. It's it's a kitchen item, not an automotive item. So cooking oil is pretty much the best way to go. Now the screeching sound's gone pretty much, and opens cans real good too. Awesome. Gotta love old stuff. They're way better than the new. And the 1983 Hoover Celebrity QS vacuum cleaner. It still works. Sucks a lot of juice out of that outlet. It's a 12 ampere. But what the heck? It works. It's got the low high speed. It's got the check bag light. It's awesome. Last but not least, the mighty 1981 Sharp microwave oven. It still works. It's part American and part Japanese. Yeah, it was assembled here in the US back in 1981 with American-made parts and Japanese-made parts. You can't go wrong with American and Japanese together there in the 80s. Because the Japanese stuff back in the 80s were bulletproof, like the Toyota trucks. My favorite years of Toyota trucks is 1984 to 1987. Well, there you go. My items from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Mainly more items from the 60s and 70s and 80s. So y'all have a good day. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed.